Fucking with you.
All
Woohoo!
right.
Shit.
Hey guys, welcome to the workshop number 79. This is a comedy safe space, so you can say whatever you want. You're not gonna get told on or whatever. Um, Sabari, you're up first. So let me know when you're ready to start, and I'll start your time. And also, let me know what your topic is.
Oh, okay. So I have very few jokes about. Should I go first? Yeah.
Yeah, what's your topic?
It's choirs. Choirs.
Choirs. Sweet. So let me know when you're ready to start, and I'll start the clock.
Okay. Tell me when I'm ready.
Cool.
Oh God.
Whenever you're ready, Sabari.
Yeah, I'm ready. I was thinking just about to start the clock. That's why I was ready. I didn't get it shortly. Yeah, I'm ready.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm gonna. It's anyway gonna be short. So. Okay. Okay. So. Uh, I know a few Christians would be get offended when I say this, but choirs are not great songs. Okay, you have to admit it. Like, and they are so self-touchy about it. So when they are like, yeah, choirs are our song. They are the best song. When I talk to Christians, and the worst part is, I went to a Christian church and they have a cappella. They have a choir song as a cappella. So now I know it's really proved that they are so self-touchy about it. Like they were making all noise over there, here and there, and see, the greatest thing I found about choir songs are like, see, whenever you don't get the lyrics, you can always have a comeback. Like you just can pretend there as if you're doing something like who, and everything would fit in. Like that's why like a lot of Christians also teach choirs to kids because they can go up to anything and like come up with any shit and it still be in the song. Um, so another thing I found really interesting about choir songs is like you have to be synchronized, man. Like otherwise, like you're gonna be go out of it like all over the way, and it might be so sad when you're the altar boy there because you are work or your imagery right there, and then you cannot sing. That's all about like that's all about I got about choir songs.
Oh, uh, yay! Sweet. Awesome. Dan, you have any feedback?
I, you're right. I mean, choir songs suck for sure. Um, like I've never heard a good choir song. Uh, do they make you do like choir in school over there at all? Like when you're like in
So,
like elementary school or middle school or high school or whatever you call them over there,
no,
primary
no, no.
school.
It's more of the Christian schools thing. Like here,
Okay.
we have like a lot of other religions, so it's not such mandatory as it. If you're in a Christian school, maybe they would teach you choir. That's it.
Okay. All right. So you could definitely then take that and go down a lane where it's just like, oh, in the Christian schools they make you do choir. There you go. Just more things Christians force onto other people and like their religion, like the
Yeah.
I don't know stuff like that maybe.
Okay. So I was digging around the bit like it's a cappella thing. So
Hmm.
like I always find it like, but I cannot make it that like anything funny. But it's a thing like when you go do the a cappella, they are like Christians are so self touchy about it. Like mostly
Right.
choir songs comes with a cappella, right? It's not like a Muslim song with an a cappella. You haven't heard like a Muslim song with a cappella, right? It's all about Christian song going. So I think that Christians are so self-touchy. So
I
I
think
don't
that's
know how to.
I think it's because when like Muslims sing a cappella, it's right before they blow up. So
Yeah.
That's
um
and and so I was also about to divert it like see usually see only you can see when you go to Christian churches you can see beautiful women singing choir songs, but you go to Muslim church, that's it, like
anybody could be singing the song.
yeah, and if you're in the wrong church they would make you sing the song and leave.
And then because like especially because like over here like you're forced to do stuff like choir in just like normal school, like they make you take classes like that.
Okay.
It's not even just Christian schools, but like the fact that it's only Christian schools over there, it's
Oh, okay.
there's
Okay, so
definitely a lot of room to work with that because it's just like Christians at
yeah,
least
I
over
think
here are known to be like really pushy. So now it's
yeah.
just
So
like
I
not only you're giving me your religion, but now you're giving me your shitty music on top of it. Like
so I was again in this few schools. So in my country, so I was thinking like I want something like choir with consent, like. So I found it interesting when I say like choir with consent. But I'm again saying that these are all notes I had taken, but I'm sure that
oh
on the
no,
top of it,
yeah, I
that
mean that's how these workshops work. But um,
yeah. What
so
if there's like a religious battle of the bands?
huh? Sorry.
It's like a contest, like which religion has the best band,
Uh-huh.
do you have
and
like Battle of the Bands over there?
Yes, but as in like there won't be a choir song battle, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
it's like a like School of Rock, but religious.
And then
Yeah,
all
you ever? Oh, sorry.
go ahead, Blah.
No, I was gonna go a different direction.
Also like because like the Christian schools are making you do the choir, it's just like is that like did like priests beat off to choir practice? Like when they see that like little boy hit that high note, is it just like really get the priest going a lot and that's why they force you to do choir no matter where you go?
Oh.
I don't know, that's just a rape premise you could take on it, pedophilia. It's fun. There's my car crash. All right, we got 7.5 minutes in before our car crashed. All right.
Yeah, like I mean, the kids don't get touched over there, do they? By the priests. Like
Dude,
you get like the death penalty or something, right?
Bilal, yeah, like your voice is like when you're talking, it's so high, but as it goes down, it goes. That's how I got the whole confusion. Like he said,
Oh,
I
I was
thought,
asking if the priests over there fuck little boys in their assholes, or do they where they get like killed or something by
yeah,
the government?
that's happening here for sure. I think that's the way you identify you a Christian. Like it's universally, if the priest, it's like, I think that way I can dig better, right? Like if
At least they're consistent. Like globally, priests are raping little boys.
like like apart from choirs, what are like globally accepted? Like it's the priest fucking kids.
Okay, I mean, maybe they're trying to help the kids, like help the kids out. Maybe it's like so they can hit those high notes. Like giving them that little extra edge. Fucking. But what I was gonna say was, you ever seen the movie Mars Attacks? Oh, it's a movie where like aliens invade, but it turns out the aliens' weakness is like this one song that has like super high pitched parts and it makes the aliens' heads explode. And what if that was why they were making everybody do choir? So he was like training for like the final battle that was coming up, like, and they knew about it like thousands of years ago. So they like made people like consistently be good at like hitting high notes, so that when aliens invade, they could like make their heads explode.
Oh, yeah. I think I really sucked at writing choir. Anyways,
It's a weird subject. I mean,
yeah. But
that's the
I
fun
was
of it.
working on, and parallelly, my next bit is also about like kind of about religion. The bit. So I was interested, but I cannot. like force those kids to this shit, right? Like it's more again in India, it's more about like there are lot of religions, so I get huge content from
Mhm.
that.
Uh, hey, you want to trade shirts? I really like that shirt.
Sorry,
You want to trade shirts? I really like that shirt.
sure.
Never mind. Um,
He likes your
so
T-shirt. He was asking if you wanted to trade T-shirts.
No.
yeah. Uh, um, okay. So any more feedback?
I don't know. I think that's pretty much all I could say about it.
Uh, okay. Well, I can't think of anything else about choirs. So Dan, you're up next. Let me know what your topic is, and shit.
All right. All right. So for my topic, I got budgets, and I'm also a fill-in guy. So I'm gonna give you the pre if it sucks excuse. Got this at like 1 today. So, but budgets like I don't. They used to mean something. Like when somebody planned a budget, like you had to stick to it. Like we have no more money. If we go over budget, that sucks. We just can't get what we need because that's all the money we have. And it definitely doesn't mean that anymore. Like if you watch HGTV, there's always somebody that's like, my budget's $100,000, but then something always breaks and they have to go over budget, and I just don't understand like where the money came from. Like if it's $100,000 is the most you can spend, and then a $20,000 expense comes up, and you can pay for it, then your budget the whole time was $120,000, not $100,000. I mean, and this happens in every budget. Like when it comes to personal life or all the way up to the government. Like every year, the government's fighting over what the budget is going to be, and then by the end of every year, they're telling us how much they went over the budget. Like I don't, where did the money come from? Like then clearly our budget wasn't $1 trillion. Our budget was $2 trillion because we spent $2 trillion. I don't understand that. Um, Also, setting a budget can be pretty difficult too because they always tell you to plan in your budget for stuff that comes up, but that also goes back to the same point. Like how if I only have 100 grand, how can I plan $120,000 in expenses? So I don't know. And then so it's just basically like part of your budget is going over budget, which in itself is makes no sense whatsoever, and it's just it's just like a paradox because then like what if I go over the new over budget? Do I just keep getting money, and then it's just an infinite amount of going over your budget. I tried setting a budget with my wife, and it was basically came down to we set a budget, but then we didn't consider Amazon, so Amazon was outside of the budget, and that also somehow the money came out of nowhere. Like we didn't go broke, but the Amazon money just magically appeared. When you write out like an itemized budget as well, like when you write out like an itemized bill, so like it's just like all right, I have X amount of money I can spend on rent. I have car insurance. I've got car payment. Whatever. But then it's really hard to budget for like specific things, especially if you're trying to be honest. Like I put $100 aside for my webcam girl fees. And then there's just like this list going on of just like assorted things you spend money on that you shouldn't be. And then, like if anybody ever found that list, like you can't exactly just like put that on the refrigerator. Like lubricants, condoms, anal nitrates. Like it gets pretty personal pretty fast. That's about all I have on budgets, man. That was a tough one for that one.
Sweet. I mean, you made it past the 3-minute mark. I commend you. Any feedback?
Kill myself? Yeah, that's probably it. Like
Again, it's so weird to write about jokes on budget, like because you're short of it, maybe. I don't know. So, so I think we can. I think that part was really funny because like the overhead has when you said like the cam girls. So I think you can make like for the extra money that you give for the taxi driver for some extra service or something. I don't know. I'm just maybe something which we won't see on the budgeting, right? Like there's always something. So I think that way you can explore a lot more. Maybe.
Okay, yeah, like because like I was kind of just trying to like find my way through the water with that topic, and like just kind of stumbled upon like the
Mhm.
itemized budget plan because like it always says miscellaneous, but how can you just put $500 for miscellaneous unless you know what you're spending that $500 on? So if you could break down everybody's miscellaneous budget, like how awful would it be?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like there
And
might
what
be
you do.
something there.
Yeah, sorry. And what you did under miscellaneous would be like that's where
Yeah.
everybody cover up, right? Like they would, like maybe if there's a budget company, they would take a luxury Uber and write some extra amount over miscellaneous and the food. A lot of people cover food under miscellaneous so that they can have food. So
Yeah, like the shit food. So
yeah,
like so
yeah,
pretty much like everybody's miscellaneous is like everybody's skeleton in the closet is their miscellaneous part of their budget.
yeah.
I was saying like with the government budget, their miscellaneous budget is probably like miscellaneous anus missiles or something. Like yeah. Like what if they had to release like a budget of like what they were actually spending money on? And it was just like it was like $10 to like intelligence, and like most of it was going to like pens or something. Like they're just buying really expensive pens.
Well, that did happen if you remember in like '05 when they were finding out like contractors were charging like $30,000 for a hammer, like a basic hammer.
Because they say a lot of shit gets written off as top secret just so people could like cover their asses. I wonder how much of that shit is like, like we need to pay off these spy hookers. So
Our horse spy account is overdrawn this month. We need to increase the budget.
like wait, did you say horse spy or horse spy? Because we have both of those. It's just like horse pie. Did you say horse spy, or horse pie account? Because we have all three of those.
You didn't pay the horse?
It's a. Sorry, I don't want to get meta.
Yeah.
I think maybe you can explore around like when you say like see a lot of I think I think you can diverge from budget because a lot of people doesn't have another kit like the extra kit maybe because the budget is short.
Oh yeah, so like part of your
Family
miscellaneous
budget.
budget, like it's really big. Like what the heck, and really like that miscellaneous budget is like dad's other family that we don't know about. He's got two budgets. Like, why do you need $2,000 a month in the miscellaneous? And it's like, oh, don't worry about it. But dad's got to go across town and like support his other family.
Yeah, but he also for some reason doesn't want to wear the same clothes as he wears around this family, so he has to budget for a whole new wardrobe.
Yeah, he wears like normal cardigans and stuff. When he's over there, it's all silk.
Uh,
Yeah. It's like
Oh shit! This might actually have some legs if now I got some better angles on it.
yeah. We're like the secret family. He's like pretending to be poor, like just so they don't ask questions. It's like I gotta work 90 hours.
I make $275 an hour in the salt mines.
He's across town like wearing a tuxedo and shit. Yeah, maybe a great like fairy tale or something. It's like Everybody's got a secret. It's like the origin story to every secret family.
Yeah, yeah, that is a great angle. I think, like, see, when you are a kid, you want to make a fantasy movie, but when you grow up, you have like a small budget. Now you have to reduce your fantasy. Like, imagine then you can go to like Snow White and like four princess and four dwarfs because like budget.
Right, yeah. Instead of Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, it's Snow White and three
And
dwarves.
and maybe like two dwarfs and a man, like if that counts anything. So, like a tall man so that you can compensate for the actors. So you can like cut short any movie like a it's a it would be cool. Like we had seen the Titanic low budget versions, which is so hilarious.
It's a dinghy. And it hits like a floating dock with a water slide instead of an iceberg. It's like,
Yeah, it's like Avatar or on a like all the characters stuck in a small tent in some forest and they like they're not moving across. There's nothing happening, but
it's
they're
also yeah,
all-
it's also like a one man show. So it's like I'll never let you go, Jack, and then like they have to get off the door and get in the water and do the other role.
like then the end credits would be like every character would be played by the same guy. Like,
Oh shit.
I
and
wonder if
sometimes he
anyone,
has to come with the camera also because there is no camera.
yeah. I wonder if anyone's ever written a book on how to hide a successfully hide a secret family. Because there's a book for everything, but I wonder if like anyone's like, all right, this is the secret family Bible.
Yeah, like pre-internet era when like everybody could do it. Like,
Yeah, remember they have an updated version.
yeah. There's like some kind of device you got to keep in your pocket so nobody can ever like take pictures of you on their cell phone or anything. It just always blurs you out.
It comes with a fake mustache.
Do they make fake skin for like guys like me that already have a beard and mustache that I can just like put on top of it so it looks like I don't have a beard and mustache?
Maybe, yeah, I think they can do that though with like makeup, like special effects and shit. Maybe one of the steps is to like get like a bunch of frequent flyer miles by like continually going to California and having professionals just like make you up.
By the time I get back, I have to go back and get the makeup redone.
Yeah, pay some like plastic surgeons to get like removable like bone chunks so you can change the shape of your face.
Or it's like it's low budget, so really I just like tape deli turkey to my face and let it drain down.
Oh yeah, that's another angle for budget. Like a low budget movies. Like did you already go down that road? Sorry. Budget. I think that bad special effects are way scarier than good ones.
I don't know.
Like CGI wise.
Yeah, I mean it depends. Like, because sometimes the effects can be so bad, it's like, oh, you're
Yeah,
sharks
Sorry.
against octopus or whatever. It's like the Sci-Fi Channel effects. Some of them are just like, oh, look at that thing that doesn't match any colors at all.
Yeah, there's a movie called Ghost Shark.
so they
It's
don't
like
want to show the shark at all. Like they can just say the shark is there, just make them feel there's a shark underneath. Like,
Yeah. Speaking of low budget movies, I'm not gonna lie, but like action movies from India are fucking ridiculous, and I love it. They're some of the worst effects and make zero sense, but it's always fantastic.
I don't know
Yeah,
if you've
so-
ever- Oh, sorry.
so I was thinking about something like special effects are not special anymore because like overall in India, they like I saw a movie where they like twist like a bend a tree and send people to the next battleground. I'm like, okay, as a huge hit. Like they bend and like throw people like 5 men like directly go. Then we were Avatar. We expect something.
What was one I seen where it was like this guy's at like this ball and he's just dressed like a normal detective, but for everybody else is in like high class suits. And then this chick falls off like over the railing of a staircase, like a tall staircase, and like he's like doing like all kinds of other stuff, and she's falling. It seems like for like 5 minutes, and then he like runs over and just catches her, even though he was like so far away. Like what gravity doesn't work in India apparently.
Yeah, I also saw that one, but I don't know if
Yeah.
you ever heard. Oh, sorry.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I don't know if you ever heard of the movie Samurai Cop, but
Yes, yes.
dude, that movie has had me crying laughing. Like, but what were you saying? Oh, sorry, I thought you were. Savari, were you gonna say something? Or?
Yeah, I was saying that. See, because you see, in India there are like a lot of sub languages there, right? Like it's not only like in your country whether it's English, we have like a lot of Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, and it's all over the places. So, like we can contribute like different languages, shitty
Mm,
action movies. And yeah, I think there are like beautiful talents over India, but again, maybe the
right.
budget is the issue
Oh no,
because
like like A-list Indian actresses are some of the sexiest actresses I've seen like on planet Earth. Like I
there
would
you go. We compensate for our
yeah, you're terrible writing with beautiful Indian women glistening. They're always dressed in jewels in the movie, like like it's like that's like an American stereotype. Like they're like, oh, we got to get this to America. Let's dazzle them with emeralds.
So I watched a shitty Indian movie where like a guy goes through in a horse and like just like the bike skids over underneath the big truck, he skids the horse and they both get up and go. I'm like, oh
Yes,
my.
yeah, I've actually seen that clip online.
I have
You're
too.
talking about.
Yeah, they're like, let's get Hayabusa on like by they're like we have budget constraints, so let's get it.
Or what was another one? Like it was a guy in like a rickshaw and he was like charging the dude in the street and the guy's like in the middle of the street, then all of a sudden he just like jumps through the rickshaw and like rips the guy out of it. Like it doesn't make any sense at all from physics perspective.
Yeah, movies
uh,
are
I
great.
think we should do a separate video on like where I would play.
like I feel like I could be like a big time director in India, like from the movies I've seen there. Like I'm like
No,
I could probably do this.
no, you can't. You have to have fantasy, dude.
Oh, I have fantasy. Don't worry. Like, all right, this guy's gonna karate kick a Mercedes, and the doors are gonna blow off, and then this beautiful Indian lady's gonna come up and kiss him, and like that's like half the movie right there. So,
No, like yeah, that sounds like a fun sketch. Yeah, like a visual effects artist. But yeah. So budgets. Yeah,
well,
that was a
well,
good rabbit hole.
yeah, it was because
Uh,
I feel like China used to be like the like B-list movie capital of the world, like old Chinese movies. Like they're always like cool kung fu movies and stuff. But now they can make like good like full motion pictures like with really good effects. Same with like Thailand and stuff.
but
And now like India movies are starting to come up in the U.S. and it's like, oh, okay, they're the new B-list movies, like they're action movies anyways. For us, it's
so
fun to watch.
I think Asia wise, like South Korea is probably like miles ahead
Hmm.
of the continent, and then like
Japan makes some pretty good movies too.
do they?
Camera.
Like horror, anyways. At least horror. They got the horror genre pretty locked down.
Yeah, but South Korea is blowing them out of the water.
Yeah. Oh no, for sure. And then Japan's also got like the anime scene on lock too, like for the most part.
Yeah.
Fans of
Well,
hentai.
South Korea has good animation.
That's true.
That's why they animated Avatar.
Yeah, no, I mean they're
Yeah.
definitely like South Korea is definitely like the top with when it comes to Asian movies. And then Russia's fun to watch some of their movies because it's just like American movies, but it's all Russian characters. Like they
Well,
just
I
take
mean,
their
Russia has that thing too with the special effects that are like ridiculous.
yeah.
But I'm glad we filled like a little bit of time there. Let's just go off on tangents because this is one fun thing with having a few people. Any more feedback on budgets, you guys? Okay,
No.
I guess it's my turn. My topic is manners. Oh boy. Yeah, manners are really weird because like different people expect different things out of you, like manners wise. Like you can be with your friends and then be like, "Hey, you fucking bag of dicks," and then they start laughing, but you can't say that to like a random old lady on the street. Otherwise, you're a young hoodlum or something. I don't know, but yeah, manners are really weird because like I feel like the generational like gap in like expectations of people is like pretty weird and big, you know, like because like you ever like try to be an old person and they like expect you to act like it's 1940 and you're supposed to like I don't know, be wearing long pants and shirts with collars and shit. Because like I don't know if you've ever volunteered at a nursing home and then like gone around and people are asking you to do a bunch of shit for them, like you're some kind of personal slave or something, and then they get like they expect you to just like treat them like you know they're you're like their grandkid or something, and they also get really mad when you like chew on the tip of their dicks. I don't know what it is, but like I don't understand why you get mad at that. Like they get furious. Actually, it's like fucking. It's kind of fun, and they're like, "Hey, what the fuck? Oh my god!" You know, and it's just like, this is just how we say hi now. Must be a generational difference. Uh, yeah, but I mean, like, yeah, you know, you ever like, because I don't know how it is over there, but like here, like, you ever go to Canada or something? Because Canadians, like, you hear Canadians are really polite, but I feel like being polite and being nice are two different things, you know? Because you can be like really polite, but I feel like I would prefer someone who's just an asshole if they like really don't like you. They're just like, you know, letting you know. Because like the worst kind of shit is when like people like smile to your face and then hate your guts. Because like you really won't know until they're like chewing on your dick tip to like greet you, but then they like bite a little too hard, you know. And you're just like, hey, what was that for? And they're like, I didn't like the way you stepped on my foot earlier there, buddy. And then now you have to fight them, you know, because you can't just have people biting you in the dick. Like what the fuck? No, you got to punch them in the neck. It's a matter of pride at that point. But fucking manners. Also, like when you step into like a church or something, you know, you gotta be on your best behavior because I don't know if you've ever tried to wear a hat into a church because it doesn't go over too well. They don't like it when you wear hats unless you're like an old lady or something. Well, it might be a different like I'm talking about black churches. Like you can wear a hat if it's like one of those hats that makes you look like Dick Tracy, or it's like an old lady hat, but you can't like wear a beanie. I feel like it's a little arbitrary though, because I could be wearing like a fucking Supreme beanie that costs like 3 times as much as one of those fucking Walter White hats, but they're like, no, you can't wear that. Like, imagine like they say you're supposed to wear your best clothes, but if I go in there decked out in the latest streetwear, all of a sudden I'm disrespecting God. But God's probably like, man, that drip is sick as fuck, you know. Just saying. He's like, you know, he's like, hey, can you give me a plug on the next easy drop? And you're just like, yeah, I got it. But I'm gonna need a spot in that heaven party later. And he's like, I got you, bro. You're in the VIP section. And then you get to the VIP section of heaven, and everybody's chewing on your dick like just right. That was like the perfect amount of pressure. Not too hard, not too soft. All right, thanks. That's all I have. Any feedback?
When you were talking about the manners, like they always expect you to have like manners like it's 1946. Like that could be an easy spot to just like throw in like a cheap jab where it's just like, so I slapped her ass and called her toots and walked away. Because like women always talk about like they were treated like gentlemen were treated them great back then, but like you could also beat the shit out of your wife. So it's just like,
Plus, it's like it wasn't really good manners to drop nukes on people
right.
or gas and incinerate millions of people.
Right, they want good manners as they like chase black people away from their drinking fountain.
I think when you said like being polite and being nice that's where it really hooked me up. Like you can maybe build on that, maybe like build a scenario where you are like you hit somebody really down and uh, you're really hard and like you just open the door from the car to hit somebody, right? Like you just open the door and let them out because that's being good manners, but you're not polite after that. You're going to hit him. So you being like opening the car's door, you're like he says thank you, that's a great manners, you're a gentleman. Then you're gonna hit her or you're gonna call her bitch or whatever. So
Right.
I think that's where like you're gonna be nice, but but you're not like you've got good manners, but you're not that great guy. So, and I think a good part you can come is when the world leaders meet, right? Like when uh, say when Modi, the Indian Prime Minister meets Trump. It's so much of weird scenarios happening, right? Like there's no handshake, then they do the hug. It's like total confusion. Because you have to show manners on both the country. Here we say namaste, right? Like there you guys maybe handshake and Obama does that fist bump, right? Like so now you have to do everything namaste, hug, and like handshake.
it's like a sequence of greetings because you're just trying to be
Yeah,
polite.
Yeah, they're both like sweating, like oh fuck, it's like some kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
dramatic battle.
So,
It's like a
so
chess
I think
match.
that
Yeah, it's just like, you know what? Oh, fuck it. We're going to war. I can't deal with the stress of this anymore. We're just going to have to fight about this.
what, like maybe you can make shit up. Like there is India China issues happening in the border, or maybe because like Modi ji went and like hugged him. In their country, it's not how it works. Like that's how the war began.
Well, it's like you guys have like the border with Pakistan where they do like the dance off every year, right? Like the soldiers. So it's
Yeah,
like it's like it's kind of respectful because like you're showing like respect and doing like your like little dance to each other, but at the same time it's kind of you're saying fuck you at the same moment. So it's like the most disrespectful manners, but it's still manners.
and I think like you cannot go out when your parents are around you. You have to be well mannered. I think that's where some of the reluctant hero kind of stuff. Like you have to say fuck you to a friend, but maybe you're in front of your parents. You're
Right.
polite, it's taking it down, and like, I don't know.
Yeah, like your buddy walks up like, "Sup, motherfucker," and you're just like, "Steve."
Mother is here. Yeah. I think Bilal is not impressed by our feedback.
Oh no, that's how Bilal just always was.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking about water. Manners.
But he is right though. Like the premise of like 'cause that's definitely true. Like nice and being polite are not the same thing. Just because like I personally will always say thank you or you're welcome or something, like give you a greeting. But that's usually going to be like on the outside borders of something really terrible I've said at some point in between those two. So like, that's definitely something I believe everybody can relate to. Like that's highly relatable and like a really good angle to take on that.
Mm, yeah, is hmm. Because you can be nice and not be polite. Also,
Yeah, I'm just trying
what's
to think
that?
of examples of that.
It can
Okay,
be
so
like
all right, so like you're like you take time out of your day, you help somebody move, and then you just tell them to go fuck themselves as you're leaving, and it's just like that wasn't very polite at all. But it was really nice that you actually like the action was nice, but your everything else wasn't.
I think you can be well mannered and be an asshole. Like you can just like, hey, how's the day going? Like, how are you all going? Well, then fuck them on the face. Yeah, then you're still well mannered and but not so great human. Like, not so nice.
Yeah, because like
Or you're doing something that helps somebody and you're just complaining about it the whole time. Like that's nice, but bad manners because you're still actually helping them out of a situation.
there's just something about Mister Rogers that I don't trust. Like that guy had some dark secret.
That's why I had to keep changing his shoes, get rid of that DNA evidence.
Yeah, God. He's probably making those puppets out of skin. Um,
Wait, do you know who Mr. Rogers is, Sabari?
Fred Rogers.
Do you know who Mr. Rogers is, Sabri?
Yeah, yeah. You were saying about William?
Do you know who Mr. Rogers is?
No.
Okay, so all right.
Oh,
That's what I mean. Like he has no idea who you're talking about right now.
okay, yeah, sorry. Yeah, he was the guy who like everybody would watch on TV when they were kids, and he was known for being like really polite and nice. And he basically, if you think about somebody nice, he's who you compare them to. It's
But
like
like the premise of him being like a serial killer though is like it's like alternate life.
yeah, he's like the opposite of Hitler. Like if there was like a reverse Hitler, like if there was a scale, it would be probably the Rogers Hitler niceness scale because they're at opposite ends. Although I'm sure he was probably polite too.
I mean, if you weren't a Jew, he was probably
Yeah,
very
to like
pleasant.
Germans. But let me get away from that. You guys have any more feedback?
I'm good.
Then we're gonna go back. Now we're gonna do like jokes you've been working on or want to work on, or if anything pops in your head, you can just say it. Sabari, you're up first. Let me know when you're ready to start, and I will start your
I'm ready.
time.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay.
And so, I don't know if you guys heard about the series called Friends. I'm not a big fan of the show called Friends because I cannot relate to this show because I don't have any friends. Uh, Friends is not at all relatable to me. Friends is not a fiction to me. It's more of a fantasy. Uh, See, I don't get Friends. Maybe a show like Breaking Bad relates to me. In that, the professor cooks meth. See, I cook spaghetti, but it's cooking relatable. Uh, See, Friends doesn't happen over in India because three men and three women living together in a house, we call that a joint family or a gang bang, depending on how. I don't get Friends. Talking about gangbang, so I have this bit I'm working on. It says I think yoga is basically Kama Sutra for single people. Um, we all have to understand this. Like you have the breathing exercise over there. Like you have to control it and like because you don't have anywhere to put it down to ejaculate, but you have to exhale. Uh, because like we single people get so excited about the things they do over Kama Sutra, and they are like, okay, we don't have another body, we can explore it in our body. That's why we do all the yoga asanas have been built off. So now you know why, like India found both yoga and Kama Sutra. Like we need to compensate for the number of Indians, and that's how all tell about the population of India. We have something for the single people, and we have something for the married people. Uh, so yeah, so another thing, as in India, there are like a lot of gods over in India. See, I don't get religion. I don't get religion. For me, religion, there are actually, I don't get gods also. For me, actually there are only three types of god. There is this god, like all gods can be summarized into three types. It's man-made, uh, two is self-proclaimed, and three is I don't understand science. Let's blame it on the invisible. Um, so all these three types of God. See, I went to a Christian church the other day, where I went to actually to do the confession, but unfortunately the priest or the father was not there. But somehow I could hear a noise of somebody fucking. um, so I thought, yeah, it's a Christian church. So there's nothing new. But I was walking towards the direction of that sound, and I could still hear the sound of somebody talking. And I'm like, Father, is there a kid in the room, bro? He was like, No, none, bro. I'm like, makes sense. Okay, so I don't get religion. Anyways, see, they say that like the God is invisible, and a lot of people in India go to temple and close their eyes to pray the God. So I'm like bit confused with like where you see your God. Uh, so I have one more bit about okay. I have one more small bit about relationship. See, I think men are not at all ready for marriage. Like a guy is not at all ready for marriage at any point of his age. That's why like guys who gonna get married are called grooms, because we are working on it. Uh, like we don't get anything like the self-finance, financing everything, anything easily. The women pick it up nicely. That's why we call we men are called grooms. And I think, see, I'm a vegetarian. Being a vegetarian, I know how does it feels to be a woman. Uh, like you don't know how many times a day I have to say no, I don't want it. No, please, I don't want it. And like that shit in the mouth doesn't taste any good. Yeah, thank you. That's it. That's been my.
Oh man, that was great. Dan, do you have any feedback?
Yes. um, all right, just because it's fresh in my mind. At the end there, when you said it's just like being a woman being a vegetarian, which is it's a very funny premise because I never really thought about that. Um, but you could definitely work in there. Like I'm constantly having to keep people's meat out of my mouth. Like I'm always having to like turn away from other people's meat going in my mouth, just like women or
Oh,
something.
wait, I've taken out.
Like something along
Yeah,
those lines.
yeah.
And then in the beginning when you're talking about like yoga was made for single people and Kama Sutra for married people and like it's good because it's going to help with like India's population issue, right? Like that was the angle you were taking.
Yeah,
Like to
it's like
reduce it or to increase it?
no, no. So we doesn't discuss. So I was just making that up. Like my only idea was like
Oh no
yoga.
no no! I get that. I was just saying like what angle were you taking?
Yeah,
Like
so I was talking on the angle like we don't differentiate between like when single people say
right
married people, they're like, so we don't have anything to do. So they're like, here we go, yoga. Like
right. Well,
that's casual.
I was saying like if you were taking the angle to where like yoga was made to try to like curve it, you could just be like it's a contradiction because all yoga really does is just prepare you for sport fucking when you're not single.
Maybe yoga is that preschool for Kama Sutra or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's how you drill Kama Sutra. I don't know, but yeah.
Like yoga is the entrance and Kama Sutra is the university.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, what if, like, everybody starts accidentally ripping their ball sack open, trying to stretch too much? Maybe it's like a form of like you would control the population that way because everybody would have like ripped ball sacks, balls would fall off. So I don't know, something weird. But I was also thinking, like, when you said it was like for single people. What if I was picturing like being in a yoga class and then they're like, "Hey, quit jerking off," and you're the only one like just in there jerking off. You're like, "No, I thought we were supposed to. Sorry."
Okay.
Uh,
So,
Well,
so I think any feedback.
sex offenders have to take yoga in order to build up a tolerance to raping people.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so like they have to sit in the back of the yoga class and watch everybody do that stuff, and then like resist the urge of rape. Like that's how they get rehabilitated.
because like catch and release fishing. And
No,
there's a thing where like people go to fish like and they catch the fish. They just like instead of like keeping them, they just like throw them back in the water.
oh yeah.
Yeah, that. So like I was doing jujitsu, and I was thinking like jujitsu is kind of like catch and release rape.
Yeah, I think what about an angle where I would say like how like yoga has been invented. Like when a kid goes in and watches their parents having sex, and he was like, "God, you cannot do this now. Maybe you can try yoga." Like that's how it's been invented or something like.
Hmm. Or like like a priest was like, "Hey, you can't bend that way," and they like invented a.
What do they call like a Hindu priest?
So it's still called priest
Oh,
because
is it okay?
that's English. That's no another
I got
term.
you.
Hmm.
So any feedback on friends because I've been working with that.
Oh yes.
Yeah, finally,
Um.
okay. Picking out from Daniel.
Well, there's like a million things considering because you're still in India, right?
Yeah, bro.
Okay, so like, there's a million things you could like say about like the comparison between your life and friends that doesn't make any sense. Like everybody seems to have indoor plumbing. Like it doesn't make any sense because at least like when my like like my brother's traveled over there a lot for like business and stuff like that.
All right.
He has to go to a lot of your guys' like factory districts. And like it's like a hole, and he's just like Jesus Christ. Like, so it's just like there's like a lot of like Western society stuff that you're just like how do they keep going into this room? Like will you never see them going to the bathroom or something like that? Like really
Mm.
play on the stereotypes. I don't know. Also, why do these women keep talking like out of turn when these guys are trying to have a conversation? Um, I don't know. And then also, how is like I don't know this how is premarital sex viewed over there compared to over here?
I don't know about that anything. I mean exact stuff, but yeah, it's been discussed. It's been there, but yeah, as I was saying, that Indians are not about much good about talking sex very often, so you won't know.
Right.
Anything.
Um,
They
but
will
like
do your
I mean like it's like premarital sex like taboo over there.
yeah, yeah. Obviously, sex
Okay.
itself is a taboo. Why are you saying?
Okay. All right. So like there's definitely like angles to play with that. Like how come these whores get like I also don't know if they edit it for over there. Like cuz I know like a lot of American shows get like a lot of content cut out of them depending on the country they're in. So um but you could also talk about like how are they just having sex with all these partners and nobody's stopping them like or something along those lines. But like no, that's definitely like when you compare like your life to like the life they're living in Friends. Like there's so many different like lanes you could jump down
Mm.
on that.
Um, yeah, I've never watched the show Friends. I've heard about it, but I've never like seen it. But I was thinking like when you said you don't have any friends, I was thinking like maybe you could like build your own friends out of like doll parts.
And the Breaking Bad part was hysterical, like that, like
Oh,
because
spaghetti.
I didn't see the spaghetti coming at all. Like that was hilarious.
Yeah, spaghetti. Hmm. Because like vegetarian spaghetti sounds like a. Hmm. Or what if spaghetti was just code for meth or something? Or I don't know. Never mind. They're like, oh, did I say spaghetti? I meant crack.
Yeah,
Do they have crack? Never mind. I don't want to keep asking those kind of questions. Yeah,
right.
crack. Huh. Okay. Any more feedback?
Oh, do you have like a family recipe for spaghetti? Because like you could also like because after like you hit them with like the curveball of spaghetti, which nobody's gonna see coming. Like you could throw like a maybe like a quick line in there, just like and cooking my family spaghetti seems way more complex than any meth they've made on that show or something.
Oh, okay.
Spaghetti. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Dan. Oh, sorry. Wait. You have something else?
Good.
Good.
All right, Dan, you're up next. You're up next. Let me know when you're ready to start, and I will start the clock.
Alrighty. Um. All right. Let's just roll. And so the UFC is going through a lot of like debate right now between their fighters and media members, and a lot of it's overpay. And just to break down like the inconsistencies in their pay, 40% of the UFC roster, 40%, which by the way is the premier fighting organization in the world, makes less than $40,000 a year. That's below the poverty line in the United States. And it seems it's like you can say what you want, but that's $40,000 a year at 3 to 4 fights a year. So you're talking maybe $12,000 a fight, and you don't get insurance through the UFC. So if you break your arm in like the second fight, your whole year's over with, and then you have all those expenses to come out. And the reason it's also extremely weird is the ring girl makes $75,000 a year, and she doesn't do anything. Like the entire like all they're supposed to do is hold up what round it is before the round, which you don't even need because they broadcast what round it is during the entire fight on television anyways. They don't even have to pick the right card. They're handed what card to use and they just walk into the ring, hold it above their head, do a little twirl, they come out, they look at the camera, and then they go sit down and they say $20,000, please. And I'm just saying, like, all you have to do is be pretty with tits and ass, and that's a career. Like, I don't understand like women that like bitch about like the 70 cents to every $1 a man makes because jobs like that exist only for women. You'll never see like a ring guy at like a female kickboxing event in like a speedo with like 6 pack abs, like walking around making more than the fighters. And if that did happen, he'd probably be killed by like feminists. I don't know. It's possible. Like when I'm always curious. Like, are feminists going to start lynching like successful men eventually? Like, will that be the new thing? Like, but instead of like hanging from trees, they're just like suffocated with tampons. So like you just see a guy with like 100 tampons shoved in his mouth, and that's how they lynch him. It's just things I'm thinking about. There's a lot of dating sites out there, and they pretty much hit like every demographic. You have like Christian Mingle, J Date, Farmers Only. They even had a dating site for married people who want to cheat on their spouse with other people who want to cheat on their spouse. Like they're extremely specific, but I don't think all demographics are still being hit. Like, do you miss? Like their ad would probably go something like, "Do you miss random encounters with strangers?" Do you miss climaxing inside somebody without that feeling of guilt? Well, here at 23 and HIV, we're here to turn your negatives into a positive. And so that's where that one's at. Do you think the NFL would be more apt to like give players insurance if they could put people down for extreme injuries? Like it's like the third time that guy's torn the same ACL, so they just like kind of pull him off into that blue tent. And you just hear a trigger go, and then there's just like a Hunger Games cannon shot up into the stadium with like his stats, his career stats, and then they can like turn him into Soylent Green and sell him in the stadium later. Um, I watched Last Dance, and I have to say it really gave me great insight onto like one of my favorite athletes ever, and definitely the best basketball player of all time. And it made it more relatable because his gambling issue is amazing to watch. Like that alone is goat status in itself. Like he literally was gambling with security guards for dollar bills. This man's worth $1 billion, and he was worth hundreds of millions even back then. And then it's funny too because he was allowed to go do whatever he wants, no matter where he went. And he was at like a Make a Wish Foundation with like a cigar and a glass of scotch in his hand, like they're visiting kids with cancer. And he was like looking at their charts, and I know gamblers and their things they do, and he definitely afterwards was taking bets on which kids were going to last and how long they were going to last later. Like, what's the over under on Timmy making it a week? I'll take the over. It's so fun. Do you think Louis C.K. was happy Jeffrey Epstein happened? Like, Louis C.K. really didn't do anything that bad, but people like tried to crucify him for it. But then like Epstein happened and had like a whole like imported minor rape island thing going. And so do you think like Louis C.K. was just like, I can go back on tour now? This the bar's been raised, and it also kind of sucks for like, not sucks, but it's hilarious for the victims of Louis C.K. because now you have nothing to complain about. It's just like, yeah, he jerked off in his own hotel room. At least you weren't flown to an island and viciously raped for weeks at a time. All right, that's about all I'll cover today.
Cool. You have any feedback?
So I think like that part really struck me when you said like dating apps for specific stuffs like you can cheat on your husband. I think you can build on that really well, like on the angles like um, say dating apps for like one kid parents, like dating apps for two kids parents, like now like dating app for the total family maybe. Like, I
Okay,
don't
so
know.
just I see what you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah. So I think that angle you can.
I I think the thing I'm having like a hard time with that joke specifically is the I'm trying to think of something like people with HIV would miss that they can't do now that they have HIV, but they could do with somebody that also has HIV because it doesn't matter.
What if there was a dating app for people who had HIV but wanted to give other people HIV without them knowing it? Do you miss that feeling of spreading a disease to unwitting people?
I'm gonna totally write a whole new bit on that and try to run that at like a super liberal room.
Like getting those phone calls, like, "Oh, you fucking asshole!" Just
uh,
sorry. Anything else?
I don't. I have written that, and I mean, what was your last stuff you were saying about looks? Yeah. So about that bit, I think that's the right. Like that's a great bit to work on when you say that. Like when somebody does something worse, the worst bet becomes like okay, right? Like somebody like that's like something. Get that idea, right? Like so, I think that can be put into analogies, etc. To move on.
Right.
Yeah, I think that was I really like that bit where you said like finally somebody did like so big that Louis CK can go back to tour again because
Mm.
it's a,
Did the Epstein news like make it over there? Like the pedophile island thing?
Did Jeffrey Epstein make big news, Sabari, over there in India as well, or is it just like an American thing or Western
yes,
thing?
not because I've been following the stuff like
Okay.
I haven't watched the new video. New, I think he
Mhm.
uploaded his full video on a site, right? I haven't watched it, but I've been following his stuff after that.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe because I watch a lot of music. I don't know if
Mhm.
Oh no, I
music
was talking.
No,
or India.
Jeffrey Epstein. The Jeffrey
Yeah.
Epstein story make it okay.
Oh sweet. Um, yeah, I was thinking like you ever get like those like basketball cards or something, and it's like a memorabilia card where they have a little piece of the jersey attached to the card. Like, what if they were doing that with like cubes of flesh after they put the player down? It's like a quivering piece of flesh. I'm like, holy shit, I got one! Like the fucking pack just has a huge bulge in it. I'm like, I wonder. How should I get a chunk of his dick? Like, oh man, like, because I always wondered as a kid, like, if you got enough of those, could you like recreate the whole jersey, like by
Yeah,
piece?
actually, there's collectors out there that do that. That's why they're worth so much money.
Hmm. It's not gonna take forever.
Well, usually it's not the whole jersey. It'll be like something specific from the jersey that's taken off, like specific parts. Like if they made like captain, they'd like cut up the captaincy or whatever, or like it'd be like his nameplate or something.
Hmm.
No, but the cubes of flesh, that's definitely getting worked in there.
Yeah. Hmm. Any more feedback?
Nice set, man. Like I think you can really have scope. Like I think you got the nice stuff.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, well, I guess it is once again my turn to tell some jokes. Uh, gonna be looking premises. Okay, so you know how like when you go swimming, there's like a lifeguard at the pool to keep you from drowning. I think there should also be a death guard to whose job it is to like swim out there and start pushing you under. And if they like meet each other, then they just have to fight it out, to see who can get to you first. And like maybe you're like sitting there flailing and you're watching it, and it's like super entertaining, and you want some popcorn, and you just happen to have some like popcorn kernels in your pocket and a piece of tinfoil rolled up. So you like unroll the tinfoil and like sprinkle the kernels on it and let them pop in the sun, so you can have some popcorn, but you're also still almost drowning. So you like flailing around. Um, I've been thinking a lot about the pronoun they, because like people want you to call them they sometimes, and I feel like what am I supposed to call conjoined twins? Like you can't just take that from them. It's their word. Uh, I was thinking of opening a place that does cremations, and for a promotional deal, it was going to be a special, is buy one get 6 million free. Fucking I was at work one time. I just started a new job, and I was trying to describe someone to another person, and he was skinny, and they were like, "Oh, what does he look like?" And I was like, "Oh, he looks kind of like a skeleton, but with meat on it." And they were like, "You just described everyone on Earth," and I was like, "Oh, I guess I did." Uh, why is it Hispanic and not Hispanic? I feel like it's kind of sexist. Um, I used to watch a lot of Disney movies as a kid, and one thing I learned from Disney movies is never trust anybody pointy because they're always secretly evil. Um, I don't get into a lot of fights. I'm not much of a fighting person, but sometimes people try to fight me. So I figure like instead of like fighting them, like I'll just do like a war dance. Like they'll be like, "Hey, I'm gonna press my hands against your face hard," and then I'm just like, and then just like move on after that. You know, they normally stop. Um, yeah. I was at a party a few months ago, and I ran into either the best or worst invention ever. It's called alcoholic Kool-Aid, and I feel like some stuff is supposed to taste bad. Alcohol might be the top of that list, so you don't overdo it. As I was blacking out, though, I had a thought, and man, never mind. I don't want to do that bit anymore. You fucking I was thinking about like parking the other day, and I don't normally go really far, so instead of driving, I just normally ride my giant mechanical Falcon to where I need to go. But it sucks trying to park that thing, because they don't make like parking spaces for a giant mechanical Falcon, and it takes up about the same amount of space as like three rape vans like stacked together in a row. And the thing about rape vans is, do they rape you in the vans, or do they like drive you somewhere and then rape you? Because like I feel like if you were gonna do that, a van wouldn't be the best thing to drive, because vans run out of gas really quick and you don't have to stop. Plus, a van's really easy to spot and stuff. Like, I feel like it'd be better if you had like some kind of rape scooter. That way you could just like throw it in the trash, and people would be like, "Hey, is that your rape scooter?" And you could just be like, "No." Or if you had some kind of like giant mechanical falcon that you could just like fly down and like swoop people up with and carry them off into the distance. Because like also no one would ever believe it, because like people are like, oh, that person just got kidnapped by a giant metal bird. Um, not that I'm some kind of expert on giant mechanical rape falcons. Like I didn't come here from the future just so I could fly around and kidnap people and sell their organs on the black market. That'd be sick. That'd be crazy. Um, I was thinking about starting a company that's like Uber, but just for boobs. I was gonna call it Boober. Like there's a driver, and then the lady's about to get in the car, and he's like, "Ma'am, nope, just the boobs." All right, I'm done. Thanks, you guys, for sticking around. Any feedback?
Yes, when you're talking about parking your giant mechanical Falcon, you could just throw in like a quick bit where it's just like, and helipad people are snooty, so I can't park there.
Hmm.
And then when you're talking about the rape van, I'm just something that popped in my head to just be like, how long was it until car makers realized they were making a rape van? Like that their main clientele that was buying this vehicle was just rapists and pedophiles. Like what was like the final realization on that? And like did they ever like have a meeting where they tried to just market it to like rapists? Like this specific van, like it's got double pane windows. Nobody will hear the screams coming out of this van.
Yeah. Like for the new the commercial for the new Bronco, they like used the OJ footage.
I kind of love that some people at Ford are kind of leaning into the OJ angle, like a little bit. Uh, but yeah, now I'm just thinking of like, I I don't know, commercials that would advertise a rape fan to rapists and features that would like rapists would look for in their van,
Yeah,
like a
because
slushy machine.
it's got to be like, you know how like in gas stations, like the thing with the rose, that's actually a crack pipe.
Yeah,
So like, yeah, it's like that. Like, oh yeah, this isn't for kidnapping people.
yeah. This is for heavy luggage. This is not for people.
Yeah. Hey, say your suitcase tries to kick out one of the windows. Hypothetically speaking.
The cell reception's really bad in here because you don't want to get calls while you're driving. It's to keep it, hit both hands on the wheel.
think when you're talking about Disney movies, what was the exact point there? Like Disney movies stuff. Yeah, Bilal, I was asking what was the thing you were about to say regarding the Disney movie when you said.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I was asking. You were saying about Disney movies, right?
Oh, Disney movies. I said, yeah, never trust anybody pointy because they're always secretly evil.
Okay, I think it works a bit more specific, right? If you go like any particular Disney movie or anything, I think that way it works better, right? Like otherwise, I think it might work. Uh,
Because you know when you're like watching a movie and they try to pretend like someone isn't the villain, but you can see by the way the character is drawn that they're clearly evil.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
maybe.
Actually, that sentence might just even make that better. Like right there. Like that exact delivery.
nah. That's kind of one of my gripes about The Incredibles too. Like that you could tell from the character design who was the villain, and I thought they were better than that. Sorry, that was a tangent. Um, any more feedback, you guys?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Well, thus concludes another episode of the workshop, the 79th episode. So if you guys have any like social media or anything you want to plug, now's the time to do it. Sabara, you're up first. Do you have anything?
Regarding, sorry, can you come
Like
again?
if you have like social media or anything, any cool shows or anything you're on?
Yeah, so I'm a mad guy at Twitter. I try to tweet a joke a day. So it's called Stand Up Shabari. Stand Up STANDUP and SABARI. Stand Up Shabari. So if you can find me there, please do there. Find me there. Yeah. And yeah, I post shows all around my Facebook. It's called Shabarish Narayanan. It's a long spelling, but you can find it there. Yeah.
Sweet, awesome. Dan, you have anything?
Yeah, you can find me at Twitter at Daniel_Grinnell, and then also on another podcast about everything coming to you soon.
Sweet. Oh, this was fun. Ah. Hmm. So are you guys like locked down over there or anything? Like still?
Yeah, we have restrictions like the theaters and like we don't get to do anything because like you cannot gather around. So restrictions are there, but yeah, you can move around like maybe take away from a food court, but not eat there.
Hmm. Yeah. It's like I know you guys have like a really big population. I was wondering like how it would work, like trying to keep people from being near each other like all the time. Because like
Yeah, that's true. Like we like for in India, social distancing itself would be a joke.
Right.
hmm.
Because don't you guys also have like family homes too, like which aren't very big over here, but like you could have like several generations living together over there, right? Like
Yeah,
that's
because they
something
said
common.
that was what happened with Italy, right?
Right.
Because it's common there.
Yes. So
Hmm.
what about the situation there, Bilal? You're in exactly in which location?
No, I'm in Michigan, and
Yep,
Oh,
yeah,
same here.
yeah. So we're kind of spaced out, a decent amount.
Yeah, like New York's like a fucking nightmare right now, like New York City, but
yeah.
most of the country's pretty under control. Well, for the COVID, anyways. I mean, there's riots everywhere, but
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because like we still like bars are supposed to be closed and stuff. But it's kind of moving back to where like things are kind of going back to normal a little bit. So hopefully comedy is back soon.
Yeah.